All right, let's talk about something that feels like it's everywhere these days, nootropics. You see them all over social media promising this incredible mental edge. But are these so-called smart drugs the real deal, a genuine boost for your brain, or is it all just clever marketing in a bottle? We're going to dig in and separate the actual science from the sales pitch. You know that feeling, right? You're trying so hard to just focus on one thing, but in your head, it feels like you've got 50 different browser tabs open at once. Your phone is buzzing, emails are piling up, and your ability to just think straight feels gone. It's like a constant state of mental whiplash. And hey, if that sounds familiar, I promise you, it's not just you. That feeling of being pulled in a million directions at once is one of the biggest challenges of living right now. Our focus has become this valuable thing, and it feels like every single app is designed to chip away at it. So here's how we're going to break this all down. First, we'll talk about this modern focus problem. Then we'll get clear on what nootropics even are. We'll look at the big players in the game. And then, the important part, we'll see where the hype meets reality. And finally, we'll land on the big takeaway. Okay, so first up, why are we even talking about this? To really get why something like nootropics is so appealing, we have to understand why just sitting down and concentrating deeply can feel like a genuine superpower these days. I mean, the culprits are all around us, aren't they? It's the constant buzz, buzz, buzz from your pocket. It's the pressure at work to be a master multitasker, even though we all kind of know that's not really a thing. It's the fire hose of information coming at you from social media. Our brains just weren't designed for this level of constant distraction, and it's created a real focus crisis. So, of course, the idea of a pill that could fix it all sounds amazing. And that crisis leads us right here, to the big promise. This is where nootropics enter the chat, often with that super catchy nickname, smart drugs. So what are we actually talking about? Well, the official definition is a substance that may improve cognitive function. Things like your memory, creativity, or motivation, but specifically in people who are already healthy. Now, you got to zoom in on that one little word, may, because that word is where this whole story gets very, very complicated. The marketing, though, it's brilliant. It's so simple. They basically say, hey, think of it like a software update for your brain. Feeling a little slow, a little buggy? The idea is you just take this and you can instantly upgrade your mental performance. It's a powerful and really easy to understand idea. So what kinds of things actually get called a nootropic? You might be surprised because the category is huge. It covers everything from what's in your morning mug to some very specific compounds created in a lab. Yeah, this is where the lines get really blurry. On one hand, you've got stuff we all know, like caffeine, for that kick of alertness. You'll often see it paired with L-theanine. That's the stuff in green tea that gives you a kind of calm focus without the jitters. Then you've got ancient herbs like Bacopa monnieri, which has been used for centuries to help with memory. And then way on the other end of the spectrum, you have these purely synthetic compounds, built from scratch in a lab to target specific brain function. Okay, let's get to the most crucial part of this whole thing. Hype meets reality. We've heard all the exciting promises, but what does the science actually say? This is where we need to separate what the research shows from what the marketing wants us to believe. And here it is, the fundamental disconnect. The marketing makes it sound like you're going to be Bradley Cooper and limitless. But the science, it points to maybe some modest, subtle effects for some of these compounds in some studies. It's a world away from a magic pill. And you'll hear that myth about unlocking 100% of your brain, which is just not how brains work. We use all of it. They promise guaranteed results, but the truth is, this stuff is highly individual. And for a lot of it, we just don't have good long-term research. Which brings us to the risks, because this isn't a risk-free exploration. Most of these are sold as dietary supplements, and that's key, because it means they don't have to go through the same rigorous FDA testing that actual medications do. That opens up a whole can of worms. Unknown side effects, questions about purity, and a serious lack of info on long-term safety. And on top of all that, you have the massive power of the placebo effect. If you spend $50 on something you believe will make you focus, well, there's a good chance it will. So after all that, what's the verdict? What's the bottom line? How should we approach these so-called smart drugs in a way that's, well, actually smart? The smartest way to think about this isn't a simple yes or no. It's more like a checklist. First, identify the real problem. Are you struggling to focus because of a real issue, or is it because you only slept for 4 hours? Be honest. Next, look at the hype with a critical eye. Question those big, bold claims. And then weigh the potential benefits against the very real risks. But the golden rule, the most important step, talk to a doctor before you even think about trying any of the stuff.
Because here's the ultimate truth in all of this. The search for a shortcut is so tempting, but the science is crystal clear. There is no magic pill that can replace the basics of brain health. The most powerful nootropics in the world aren't sold in a bottle. They're good sleep, decent nutrition, and regular exercise. That's the original and still the best biohack there is.
So we'll leave you with this question to chew on. In this constant race to be more productive and hit peak performance, the promise of a pill that gives you an edge is incredibly powerful. But it makes you ask a really important question. In our quest to get that edge, what are we really willing to trade?